Hey everybody, how's it going? I wanted to talk to you today about Laurin-Sandrow syndrome. It's the condition that I was born with. My father's got it and my grandfather had it. So it is hereditary, but you can also it can also just happen. You can have two parents without the condition that can just by fluke have a baby that does have Laurin-Sandrow syndrome. It's a mutation in one of the genes, so it means that when you're grown in the womb, you're just not going quite as you should. So it affects your hands, feet, especially, and then also your other joints and bones, especially with regards to the legs. It can also affect your nose. You can have nose deformities. Luckily, my nose is just a little flat, but it's quite sweet because it's the same nose that my dad's got and my granddad's got. So it's a family trait. The little flat LV nose. So I've got some pictures here, so I thought you'd be interested to see how I came out the box, as it were. So these were my hands when I was born. I had full polysyndactyly of both hands and feet. Now what that means is that all of my fingers were conjoined, as well as my feet, and I had extra digits as well. Now, as you can see, I've had some pretty remarkable surgery. This was all done at Salisbury Hospital, Odstock. I was under Mr. McDowell and Mr. Carvel, as well as a whole army of other doctors and nurses, not just there, but also at Sheffield Children's Hospital, where I had more treatment done. And wow, what can I say about those people? They were amazing. It's thanks to those doctors and surgeons and nurses that I've got hands and that I've got legs and that I can walk, It's incredibly moving, actually, when I think about it, because it's a hell of a gift, to give somebody the use of their legs and to give somebody the use of their hands. So I can't really describe it with words. It's just all here in my heart. I have so much love for those people that have helped me, because they essentially rebuilt me, and it's thanks to them that I can do most of the things that I can do today. So it's yeah, I'm not going to keep talking about it. I'll start crying. Let's move on to some more pictures. So as you can see, my hands were quite cupped together, and they still are a bit. I do kind of refer to my hands as my paws, because they're kind of a bit more like paws than hands. I don't have opposable thumbs. And yeah, as you can see, they did such a remarkable job. On my left hand, they did try and give me a bit of a thumb. They moved this finger around here so that I could sort of have a little makeshift opposable thumb, So that was good. But yeah, it's pretty remarkable what they managed to do. And these were my feet when I was born. So as you can see, it's pretty much a mirror image, and Laurin-Sandrow syndrome is also known as hand and foot mirror syndrome. I think it's something like that. So yeah, I essentially had 2 feet on each foot. So yeah, my little flippers. And here's a top view of my feet. I recently got all of my medical records, so I could have a little look through and read through, just because it fascinates me, and I can't remember everything. Obviously, my surgery started pretty much from being born and went right through till I was sort of about 17. I've had 30 plus operations. I can't actually remember. It's been so many. I had a hell of a lot of reconstructive surgery. And these were my legs, my feet, so you can sort of see everything was a bit on the wonk, you know. I was a little wonky, and all my joints they're kind of made in their own special little way. So that's Laurin-Sandrow syndrome, and it's incredibly rare. Last time I checked, I think there's about 20 reported cases worldwide. So it's, yeah, my family is incredibly unique to have had three of us with it. And yeah, it's been a journey living in this body. What can I tell you? It's been a real journey, and it's been really hard at times, and it's taken me a long time to feel as good as I do in my body. And I feel like I had the first sort of 2 decades of my life were me being reconstructed, and this last decade has been me sort of building on that, you know, and getting my body into really good shape, and also my mind. You know, I had a lot of things that I needed to work through, and a lot of times I really didn't like being in my body, you know. It really hurt, and sort of you kind of get really pissed off with being disabled sometimes. But the more I've sort of gone down this journey, it's incredible, really, because now if I had the option to have an able body, if somebody said to me, Sam, you could have this other body if you wanted, and it works just fine, and you wouldn't have your condition, I wouldn't take it. And I know that probably makes me sound insane, but I love this body. I really do. And it gives me some shit at times, but it's me. It's my journey, and I've never been so proud of my body and the scars that I have, and the wonkiness that I have, because it's me. And this journey that I've been on has been incredible, and it's been incredibly painful at times, but I've grown. It's made me me. So yeah, that's a little bit anyway. So there we go, Laurin-Sandrow syndrome. If it interests you, Google it up, because it's really fascinating. It's really fascinating. And yeah, if there's anyone out there listening to this that happens to have Laurin-Sandrow syndrome, please get in touch with me, because I'd love to talk to you. I've never, apart from the members of my family, I've never spoken to anyone else with this condition, or met anyone else. So yeah, that would be nice one day to, I don't know why, but yeah, I think perhaps because I've always felt so alone with it, and yeah, I always just felt so disconnected from the rest of humanity, because I just felt like I was so unique and so different, and I just found it incredibly hard, even being a kid and being at school, being able to sort of connect fully with my fellow classmates, because there was always this sort of gulf between us, you know. I wasn't like everyone else, and the life I was living wasn't like anyone else's. And that's been another thing for me to overcome, you know, because we're all unique, we're all different, we're all incredibly lonely at times, because it's hard to feel connected, even though we live in a very connected world and there's billions of us on this planet. It's incredibly lonely being a human at times, and it's something I've really had to work on, because I think a lot of time that loneliness is been a state of mind rather than an actual physical thing. It's been in my mind, because I put that barrier there, and I just didn't need to, you know. But it's a protective thing, you know. So yeah, that's been something I've been working on. It's just not feeling so isolated from everyone else, because really none of us are alone. You know, I've had a whole army of people rebuild me and make me who I am, and it's the same for everyone else, you know. No man is an island, and you're just not. So many people go into making who you are, and it's incredibly humbling, you know. And it makes you feel connected to people when you realize actually how intrinsically your life is linked to everyone else's. And actually, even though you're incredibly unique and there's only ever you like you're never alone, really. You're never alone. And you've got to make yourself your own best friend, because then you're truly you're good, and that's what I've had to do. I've had to be my own best friend at times, because I've needed to befriend this body, because the times when I've tried to battle this body and tried to fight against being disabled or fight against my pain, it doesn't work, and I'm not going to win that. It just makes me more miserable. I have to welcome it with open arms and love and acceptance, and that's how I've been rolling, truly just accepting it and surrendering to it. And it's more like a self-surrender, you just surrender to who you are. And it's really great. It's really great when you just stop fighting who you are and just be. And yeah, just be. That's it, really. Just be. And yeah, I just think no matter what you've got, it doesn't matter if you were born with some crazy syndrome, or it doesn't matter if parts of you look a bit odd or you're a little bit weird. Go for it. Embrace it. It's who you are. Just love it. And yeah, don't ever feel bad about who you are. I used to feel bad about being disabled. I used to cover myself up. I used to not want people to see parts of my body. Now I'm just like, get it all out. I don't. You want to look at my scars? Yeah, go for it. Have a good look. Some of them are really weird, and some of them are really deep, and yeah, it looks a bit odd, but it's me, So if I can love myself, if I can love my scars and my weird and wonderful body, just give it a go yourself, because it's really worth it. And I just think, you know what, if I can do it, if I can go through that childhood that I went through, and 30 odd operations, being in a wheelchair, being bedbound some days, and just I got through that. You are incredibly strong as a human being. It's amazing how much determination and courage you can actually muster from the bottom of your being. You really can go through life with a smile on your face. You just got to approach it in the right way, and it's possible. It really is. It's possible to live joyously even when you're in pain, and even when you feel like you've got a mountain to climb. It's okay, because you got it. You've got it. And yeah, that's how I feel. I'm just in a really good place with where I am in myself, and I just wanted to share it, because I meet a lot of people, or I see a lot of people, and you can just tell that they're so unhappy. They're so unhappy in themselves, in their bodies, and forget their lives. They're just unhappy living in their flesh, and it's so sad, because everyone is so beautiful, everyone's body is so beautiful, and you really should love it and care for it, because it serves you your whole life. You get to live in it your whole life. And yeah, it may not be the meat bag you wanted, but it's what you've got. So make the best of it, make the very best of it. And I will always be eternally grateful for all the doctors and nurses and surgeons and everyone that went into reconstructing me, because they just gave me such amazing gifts. Giving somebody the gift of being able to use their legs, use their hands, like, I can't express how much of a big deal that is, to give somebody the use of their legs and their hands. And that's what that's what I've been given. And I think when you appreciate your body on such a core, foundational level, you know, forget the wrinkles, forget the grey hairs, forget the wonky nose you don't particularly like, or whatever small thing it is. When you can use your hands and your legs, and when you can appreciate that your body works like that, the rest of it's immaterial, the rest of it's superficial. It doesn't matter if you've got big ears, it doesn't matter if you've got frizzy hair, who cares? You can use your body, it works, you can walk. And when you appreciate your body for those things that it does every day that you take for granted, you live a hell of a lot happier, because you appreciate those little things that aren't little. They're not the little things, they're the fucking big things. Because as soon as you take away the use of somebody's legs, the use of somebody's hands, they forget instantly about being worried about being a bit overweight, or being worried about that imperfection on their cheek. That stuff doesn't mean shit. It matters that you can use your hands and your legs and whatever you can use from your body, you know. There's some people out there, they don't even have limbs, yet there they are, creating art, inspiring people, making the world a better place, because they have found peace and acceptance within themselves. And that's truly a remarkable thing, and I think it's what we should all be striving for, because life's meant to be lived joyously, and I think we all need a bit of help with that. Yeah, that's it from me. Keep smiling and appreciate your body, because it really deserves your love. It really does. Thank you.